Hi, True Crime Grapevine fans. This is me, Patti Lee. We are up to our last case. Okay, so this is a celebrity case. This is the Depp Heard trial. We've got some, martini and Rossi Asti Spumante. Okay. Ooh. It's very bubbly. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, and it's sweet. How I like it. Okay. All right. All right. We're at the end of both a long week and a long trial. So here's to you if you're watching. Here's to me if you're listening. Okay, so we're on verdict watch. Verdict watch. Holy crap. It's our last case, and I am telling you, trying to drink with the beer or something with each case. Maybe it's a 2-day recording. I don't know. Okay, so the Depp Heard trial. So from the last time that I spoke with you until now, we had rebuttal. And then we had closing, and now we're on verdict watch. So, what I can tell you is that Amber Heard it appears that she was impeached, which means liar, that she is shown to be untruthed in a number of times. So, in rebuttal, Johnny Depp's team brought up a Morgan Knight, who was the owner of the trailers, in which Amber's side reported that there was like all this altercation and this destruction. And actually, Morgan Knight said the night was sort of chill. Yes, there was some issues, but Johnny was talking to the staff. He was very congenial, friendly. There was no talk of amount of pressure put on somebody to break somebody's wrist. And the next morning there was talk that there had been some altercations, and he was very worried about his trailers because he had renovated these trailers, and he said, they had to replace one sconce, and in the package of 2 that cost like $60 to $65, he had to place one of them. It wasn't even enough for what he called his piggy fine, which is if you're a pig and you wreck things, right? So they weren't even fined for the damage. So it appeared as if that impeached Amber and Rocky's retelling of what happened at this trailer park. Besides that, there was a TMZ witness. This was very interesting. So there was a witness from TMZ. He was interesting for 2 reasons. One is that he gave some information on how TMZ gets clips and how long it then takes them to upload, and whom they retrieve clips from that either inhibits or expedites the upload. And basically what it came down to was somebody near Amber Heard, or a person, an agent of Amber Heard, must have given an edited version of the cabinet smashing incident, and then to TMZ when the temporary restraining order was taken out. Ex parte means the other party is not there. So basically, Johnny Depp, when they had a big fight, said, "I'm effing leaving you," and her friends called called the police at least twice. The police showed up and didn't see any problems to complain of domestic abuse, and then the next day or so she went to the police and got a temporary restraining order saying, "Oh look, I have this bruise." But in between those 2 nights, she had called TMZ, given them a video, this is all allegedly, and told them what side to photograph her on when she came out of the courthouse. Said she was going to be at the courthouse the next day, and this was the side, and that she would pose for the little, "Oh, hurt right here, see? Okay. Now, just on the T, there was also a TikTok of a girl, not unlike my children, who had been involved in theater, who showed an actual bruise kit, and she put it right on her, and she said, this is how you make a bruise. Like, you put it right here, and you put on a little bit more. And it looked exactly like the redness of what the bruise showed. Now, why are people so incensed about this? I will just tell you, the Me Too movement was valid. There are a lot of women who aren't believed. So to have somebody usurp that movement for their own nefarious purposes and be like, oh yeah, me too. Oh, and then make up all these sort of crazy allegations. I am sorry, but to people who are really abused, that is so offensive. Yeah, Amber Heard, talking to you, big fat liar faker. People who are really abused can see through what went on that stand. Anyway, so yeah, nobody could corroborate, nobody independent of Amber Heard's crew and people living off of Johnny Depp's dime, like all of Amber's friends living in all the penthouses. None of those people, besides them, nobody could corroborate that Amber Heard had these injuries, that she was hurt this time, and she seems to have made this big deal with TMZ. All of this came out. It looks really bad for Amber. Also, let's see, closing arguments. Well, Camille Vasquez, we already know she's a queen. Camille did have notes that she read off, and some people were like, I don't like that. When they're in the well, which is when they're standing in front of the jury, they should just speak off the cuff. And I am just telling you, Camille did a great job because it was a 6-week trial. She had a lot of points to make, so they had to be written down, and they also were aligned with audio-visual evidence that they showed the jury as she was speaking. And I thought it was poignant, and it made its point. It was effective. I thought she did a great job. And unfortunately, I think Amber Heard was somehow dictating. She both had like a lawyer, Rottenborn, who like had his First Amendment argument and that she didn't really say these things were about Johnny Depp, and his argument maybe could have won, but she had this other competing side with Elaine about like, no, this all really happened. I was DV'd in this way, I was SA'd in this way, even though there's no evidence of that. Even though, I don't know, Amber got on the stand in the last week and said, I'm not smirking. I am not making jokes. I have all these rules about how people have to touch me, and I'm so like PSDD'd. And I'm like, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. No. Just no. No. Amber Heard does not seem to have made rules about how people can touch her or date her or like, no. There's plenty of photographic evidence showing people grabbing her, touching her, her grabbing and touching them. She is uninhibited. And that is not a problem, except for the fact that she's like, oh no, I am damaged. Girl, please. There's no evidence of this. None. Zero. And so for you to usurp the Me Too movement is offensive on such a level that I cannot overstate it. Okay, so the biggest news was, so after these arguments, again, there was not a cohesive argument on Amber Heard's side. Johnny Depp's side was pretty cohesive, and it was that Amber Heard is a liar, and yes, she did defame him, and yes, you should award these damages. Anyways, so today, Monday was the holiday. Tuesday, the jury did come back at around between 2:33 and ask a question about findings number 3 about what the actual, like, did the title of the online article, essay by Amber Heard was the actual title of question or the whole essay? And the judge answered no. The finding number 3 was about the title, the essay part. So now I have said that I think this will come down to they needed a whole entire day, Monday, to go through everything and whatever. And because the Virginia courts state that you have to have, like, when you have a finding, it's an hour after that, and then there's somehow like another half hour. Oh no, I'm sorry, an hour after that, and then the next whatever from that time, whatever next hour is, like on the clock, it will be announced by the judge. So I always said personally that it would be Wednesday, and I still think, and it's Tuesday night right now, and they haven't reached a verdict. So I think it'll happen Wednesday, and I think it'll happen soon on Wednesday. I think they were just taking the whole day to make sure they crossed their T's, dotted their I's, and that's what I think. So that they, really deliberated. Okay. So if you'd like more about the Johnny Depp trial, I can recommend that you go see, number 1, Emily D. Baker, of course. Also, Tragos Law, Tragos spelled Tragos. Peter Tragos, he's out of Florida. He just reached 100 subscribers and did a really fun where he dressed like he dressed not like Johnny Depp, but he dressed like the character Jack Sparrow on this past Saturday. But he does a like roundup every night, which I find interesting and valuable in information and insight. The DUI guy, I would highly recommend. And then the rest of LawTube, I don't know, there was this weird secondary drama going on with the Johnny Depp case that had to do with the lawyers following it. And there were some lawyers like Runkle of the Bailey, who was in court, and James from court, and the DUI guy who were in court. And for some reason, and Lawn Lumber was in court, Rob. And for some reason, I don't know, the DUI's guy response was more prominent so during the TMZ guys rebuttal direct, cross-examination, when he had said in under direct, he was like, look, this is how we get information for TMZ. TMZ tried to keep him out, and they were not allowed to say anything. They were not enjoined. They were not a party to this issue in Virginia, so they were yeeted, as Emily D. Baker would say. Anyway, the TMZ guy who was speaking about how they got information from people and how fast it would get, like how they got it from somebody in Amber Heard's camp, because they got this edited video of the cabinet smashing incident at the same time they got the information about, and you can show up and see us come out of court from the temporary restraining order. Anyway, when Amber Heard's lawyers were questioning him, they were like, aren't you just trying to get your 15 minutes of fame? And the guy was like, I could say the same. He goes, no, TMZ is pretty litigious company, and so this doesn't help me at all. And also, by the way, we could say the same about you, Elaine. Like, you're representing Amber Heard. Maybe, he said that would be, and she goes, don't you think that's argumentative? And he goes, no, I think that's logical. So that exchange was pretty heated and reported on. And while it was going on, people responded like, oh, you know, like you've seen the memes about damn, and people go, ooh. Apparently DUI guys, because of where he was sitting, his expression was caught, but it was like the whole court was like, really? You just told her that she was the one? Anyway, if you follow Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I believe it is, there's I'm going to say a character, but she's a real person, Sutton, who didn't want to be involved with Erica Jane Giraldi because of the Giraldi problems with the lawsuits. And she was like, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be involved in that. So Alita of Legal Bites says she is basic AF. She says that she is basic AF. And I see her as kind of like Sutton. And so apparently she sent the DUI guy email saying like, your expressions and your outburst in court are like basically unbecoming of quote unquote LawTube, and we don't want you, we can't invite you right now on our show. And she was like, I mean, again, it is very Sutton-esque. Like she, basic AF, right? Like, I can't get involved. Now, Alita is doing Legal Tube from Europe, and I think she does a great job. But the fact she and Hogue Law and even Law and Lumber, sorry, Rob, got involved in this, like, let's pile on DUI guy, I call BS. I really do. It is a weird flex to try to, and if you watch LawTube, hashtag LawTube, if you watch Rakata, sorry guy, Rakata Law from Minnesota, and politically he and I, let me just raise a glass to unity, because between the parties, I would not think we are anywhere near on the political spectrum, or maybe not as close as I'd like. That said, we do agree that the idea that there's something as LawTube, that it should be people who keep, like, are keeping some sort of like behavioral paradigm on some people and then like punish them. I don't know. It's weird. If you want to talk about AF, weird AF. So DUI, like, I am with, this is the only time you're going to hear me say this, but with Nick Ricotta, I think it's Nick Ricotta in Minnesota, I am with him on this completely 100%. Like, whatever LawTube is, it is individual creators on YouTube who are lawyers, who speak about law stuff, who are creating their own opinion, and nobody gets to say who that is. You don't get to create a group. It's just weird. It is weird AF that you create a group that says, well, we don't talk about, we don't act like, you have to be pushed off to the side because you did A, B, or C that we don't approve of. And BS. I love Alita. I really do like her channel. I love Legal Bites. But Alita, what the F, man? I know you say you're basic. So own the basic, but also realize DUI guy was like, just because I don't know. It's screwed up if you ask me. And I don't like that extra drama in the Depp Heard case, but there it is. So in case you were wondering about what the tea was, here at the Grapevine, we are squeezing those resources. I am spilling that juice, that juicy story, and for whatever it's worth, I follow Legal Bites, I follow DUI guy, I follow them all because I take them all, and Ricotta, I am so sorry, Nick. I think it's Ricotta Law. I follow them for what it's worth. I mean, if you want a balanced viewpoint, you've got to look at all the different points of view to see what overlays. And you can't get caught up in, this person reacts this way. I don't know. Canceling people, I don't like it. I don't like it. You cancel who you want to cancel. Don't let other people tell you. It's up to you, the viewer. Okay, that's enough of that. So, as it is Tuesday night, so far there is no decision. All we know is that the jury did ask one question about the essay title. Was that considered a statement to be required, or was it the whole article? And the judge did say, no. That title of that article is a statement that you must consider. So I think that's good for Johnny Depp's team. Anyway. Oh my gosh, I'm burping. Sorry. It's this lovely iced. Yeah, I'm going to pour another glass. So I'm going to pour one out for all the men who are abused as much as women, because the Me Too movement should include everybody who's Me Too, including men. It's not just women. I mean, yes, preponderance, it started out as women, but it's everybody. And it's sad that men can't feel confident enough to come forward. Is it the majority? Probably not. But even if it isn't, it's really sad when it's the minority and we ignore them. So here's to every man who's suffering. Please do speak out. We will believe you. You too. And hopefully we get a verdict. I say Wednesday, 10 a.m. I'm calling it. All right. Have a great week, True Crime Great fans. Also, True Crime Grapevine is going on vacay. We might try to do a live. It will be a new thing. I'm not sure how it'll work. If you don't hear from me, usually I say see you next Tuesday. It might be the following Tuesday. So, stay healthy, stay happy. Please like and subscribe if you so choose. Hit that notification bell. And I pray that we all can sleep soundly tonight and that we live to hear another day of true crime. All right. Bye, True Crime fans.